Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. We are here with Jered Robinson, a good friend of mine and just one of probably the best professionals you'll ever meet in the marketing space. He started out at a huge agency over in Detroit, was a director there, overall ad-related marketing subjects, and you know, I can't even speak today, Jered. But anyway, we're gonna roll with this episode anyways. Now he's an independent contractor. He's contracting out to many different companies. He's helping them grow from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in revenue. He is the man of marketing. So I would listen to every word he has to say to this episode. But welcome, Jered.
Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like I would lose my title of the man of marketing by how much you just pimped me out there. Like that is, if that's not a marketing headline, I don't know what is. I wish it was all true. I wish I was the man of marketing, but no, I appreciate the compliment though.
I like it. Well, as always, got to start out with, we are sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys are phenomenal at getting your message out with traditional and digital billboard space. From Pocatello to Blackfoot, located on the freeway, I-15, throughout the different townships. Give them a call at 232-6886. And if you mention that you heard about them on the podcast and you give Rob a call, he will give your installation for free or your first month for free. So there you go. Give them a call today. Get your message across to your potential customers and get some top of mind awareness. So Jered.
Wait, hold on. I didn't know this was sponsored. How cool are you?
We're kind of a big deal. We're kind of a big deal,
man.
Yeah, I love it. We're hip.
Wow, nice.
So Jered and I have we've known each other for what, 2 or 3 years now?
Something like that. Yeah.
And he's helped me dramatically, with my marketing. He smacked me around here and there to help me understand things better. And I appreciate his help in the past and now in the future. But Jered, let's start
literally 15 minutes before this call, you and I were going over this podcast, over our strategies there.
Exactly. Yeah. How do I grow the podcast better? Exactly. Yeah. Jered is the guy I turn to for advice. So, well, let's start off a little bit. Maybe what's a fun or interesting fact about yourself, Jered?
Oh my gosh. So unprepared. Let's think. Oh, I don't live in America. That's kind of cool. So I've got 4 kids and a wife, thank goodness, because that would be terrible if I just had them all by myself. But we travel. And so that was part of the going independent contractor, was that we had kind of life goals of seeing more than just what was in front of us. And so I have traveled to Mexico. I have lived in Ecuador. I've lived in the Dominican Republic. I am now in Colombia, and in a month I'll be in Scotland. So I'm all around.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. So 6 months at a time, you're just moving.
Yeah. Usually it's around 6 month mark. Yep. Yeah. I find it's just long enough to, like, if you're like ADHD, like it's just perfect. It's like, yep, I'm bored of everything here. I'm ready to see something new. So I find that that's kind of the good mark.
I love it. Well, there's times I try to lead the discussion with these podcasts, but with you, you're such a professional in what you do. And I know you're an avid reader and you're just constantly studying different ways to tune and fine tune your craft. What's one of the subjects you're really focusing on right now?
So yeah, currently, first of all, man, you've just buttered me up this podcast. I really appreciate it, but I'm gonna have to take a shower with all this butter. I'm fascinated with the subject, and I think this is a great subject to kind of go over, because I think it's kind of a lost art more or less when it comes to especially service businesses or people who are looking to retain or have customers come back. And it's the word of mouth referral kind of traffic that we, let me put it this way. A lot of the people I work with, they say like, hey, where do you get your business? Where are you advertising? Where are you at? And they'll go, well, most of my business is word of mouth. And you go, oh, great. What are you doing? They're like, I don't know, a good job. Like, I think that's what you need to do. Right. And it's like 100%, like, yeah, you do need to be doing a good job with what you're doing, but there's obviously going to be some sort of system that we can implement that's going to help that word of mouth traffic. So for me, I always like to have some sort of like tangible plan in front of me so that I feel like I'm kind of, the internal word that I like to use is like moving the peanut. Like I like to be at least moving forward in everything that I'm doing. And we sometimes can put so much stress on like, oh, I want to hit this goal. I want to hit this goal. Well, the answer is, what did you do this week to hit that goal? What are we doing to move that forward? And so if you're a business that's getting clients or serves people or whatever it may be, and you have like kind of this flow coming in, something that needs to be top of mind is, how am I getting these people to talk about me? Because there's coming back, which is great for your business, especially if you're a service business. Like we all know Spencer. I don't know if they all know, right? You own a cleaning company. Yep. Perfect. Spencer owns a cleaning company. What does he get from a cleaning company? Two big things. If they like them, they keep paying them. So that's nice. That's a good perk. But if they also like them, they're more willing to tell someone else about him. So there's this double edge that kind of comes with that. I guess it's not a double edge. It's a double candy bar,
There you go.
because essentially it's two positive things that are coming from this. And so the idea is you can control that narrative. You have in your pockets, your resources, the ability to control that. We as humans naturally brand everything we see, everything. So like, if you just think about, for example, myself, at this point, you've listened to me talk and you've said, I'm branding who this guy is. Like he kind of shared some information. Spencer shared information. He shared this weird fact about himself, but I kind of have an idea of who he is, because as humans, that's what gives us comfort. It's just naturally within us. It's to avoid fear. It's to avoid danger, is that we get to know someone or we get to know something and we brand it. Do I like, Spencer just held up a drink, but his green screen blacked off the drink when he was showing it to me. What is it that you're drinking?
It's Topo Chico. I
Never
love
heard of it. Yeah. It's a sparkling water, he was saying. Spencer has branded this as the best sparkling water. Is that correct? That's what you told me, right?
That's right. That's right.
If
Coca-Cola wants to sponsor me now, that's fine.
Yeah, here we go. This is free advertising. You're welcome, everyone. But the idea is Spencer branded that to himself as this is the best. Now, we can assume there's probably some marketing behind that helped Spencer draw that idea, but that's who this brand is to him. And when someone says to him, like myself, hey, Spencer, what are you drinking? He says this bizarre name, whatever it was. And then he says, it's the best sparkling water. Do you hear how powerful that is? The fact that he associated this brand with the best, and he told some dude who's never heard of it that it's the best, he's doing the marketing. He's doing what this company wants them to do. So the question is, how do we do it? Right? So how do we then take that into our business, and how do we do those things? There's a great example, and this is shared in a book that I was reading recently. It's about the DoubleTree Hotel. Spencer, is this something that sounds familiar to you at all?
Oh, I stayed there all the time when I was a kid. Salt Lake City.
Perfect.
Hot chocolate chip cookie on your pillow.
There it is. There it is. The DoubleTree Hotel. This is what they did. So let's just reverse engineer it. They said, what is the journey of that our customers take? They go, okay, well, they find us, they book, whether online or whatever, they call us, they book it, they come in, they get their keys, they get their room, they stay, and then they check out. They decided that they were going to hyper focus on one particular spot, which was the check-in process. And we are going to make ourselves unique in the check-in process. So what they ended up doing is saying, well, how can we do that? What is it that we want to accomplish? And they said, we want to be welcoming. That's what the message we want. We want people to feel this kind of like homey, welcoming feeling when they come into our hotel. And so then someone around the big table said, I have an idea. Why don't we provide cookies for these people? And they said, Great idea. And so they didn't just go and grab, the cookies from, I was going to say Ralph's, but I don't think you guys have a Ralph's in Idaho. What do you guys have there? Maverick or something? What's your grocery store?
We got Crumble, we got Albertsons, Crumble's a big cookie brand, nationwide right now. But.
Yeah, I want your generic grocery store. What's your generic grocery store?
Albertsons, Smith's, all that stuff.
Smith's. That's right. I know Smith's. Okay, Let's do that. So they didn't just go to Smith's and pick up a cookie and say, all right, this is what we're going to give to our people. They created a recipe that they knew was going to be really good. And then this is the kicker. They they warm the cookie while you're checking in. So the process is you're smelling this cookie as you're checking in. And then once you check in, they hand you the cookie themselves. Here you go. Here's this cookie. And at this point, you are getting this welcoming feeling about their hotel. And the idea of this is when they leave, they want you to say, how was your stay at the DoubleTree Hotel? And you say, great. Oh, and I had this amazing cookie that was involved in this. And they've moved you. What they've done is they've taken their brand and they moved it to a talking point. They've given you what you're supposed to talk about. And at that scenario, that's when you're creating this referral type marketing campaign for your business. So my feeling is, and Spencer, I feel like I'm just chatting up a storm here. So I want to get some of your input on this. So I guess I'll ask you the question. This is my podcast now. Everyone move aside.
No, man, I love it. I love it. That's why I have smart guests on here, because that's what this is all about.
So I want to volley this to you because you're a service-based business. Mm-hmm. And so the idea is you have your company and mm-hmm. we want to have them say, oh yeah, this company, they're XYZ. This is their tagline. This is what this is. And so with you, and I know this is a huge part of your strategy because you and I have had a lot of conversations offline about your success in growing this cleaning company. What are some of the talk points that you feel like your brand brings to people? In fact, I think that one you shared with me earlier is a great example of that.
Well, one of our main core values that I love is having fun. And if everyone knows me, especially on this podcast, 200 episodes in, I'm a goofball. I'm just a funny, just a goofball. Mm-hmm. I like to have fun. So, for example, we do a golf tournament. We're in Pocatello. We sponsor this chamber golf tournament. It's for fun thing. It's not anything crazy serious. And we sponsor one of the tee off areas. And all the other booths are kind of your generic marketing. Here's a keychain. Here's a
stress
pen,
baller.
Stress ball. They come to ours and we're blaring rock music. There's cornhole tournaments going on, like stuff you would not expect as you're going to tee off for a gentleman's game of golf. Cornhole, not just traditional cornhole, but our boards, we really dive deep into the potty humor because we're a janitorial service company. So our cornhole boards have screen vinyl printouts of toilets. So as you're hitting it into the hole, you're actually still throwing it into toilets, so people are just having fun. They're enjoying themselves. They're winning, awesome, nice golf balls. And we do have stress balls, but they're shaped like toilets, So I don't know if you can see this, but it's stressed like it's a little toilet. People love that. It's just funny stuff. We use self-deprecating humor and people just love that kind of stuff, mm-hmm. and they remember it. We hear it all the time. That was the best, sponsorship hole out of the whole tournament. We've heard that over and over again. So every time we just try to go get bigger and bigger. So
love it. Yeah. No, here's a little interesting fact that's going to line up exactly what you're talking about. How a frog catches a fly. It's fascinating. They sit still in their environment and they just don't move. This is their strategy. And they take in their entire environment. And then at a certain point, when their environment changes, which is when a fly or a bug enters into their environment, they notice it and they snap and they take that fly and they eat it. And that's how a frog catches it. The idea is they're using what we as humans have also, which is when something is typical or blend in, we don't notice it. Like if you walk into your house and everything's just the same, you just go on with your life. Make yourself a sandwich. But if your couch was upside down, you would notice it almost instantly. You'd be like, what on earth? This is something that's new into my environment. And because of this, I've noticed it. What you just described is like, yes, everyone has their booths, everyone's got their keychain and their stuff. And then all of a sudden over on hole 7 is this guy throwing, stress balls that look like toilets into a cornhole or whatever. Like at that scenario, it's like, what is happening? And that's step 1, right? Step 1 is this, what is happening? This is outlined great in the book, The Purple Cow. This is where this comes from. But the idea of like, yeah, you want to be this purple cow. If you have all the white cows all eating, you'll never notice anything different. All of a sudden the purple cow shows up, you go, what the heck? That's step 1, which is like, I'm being noticed. And then it becomes, what do I want them to leave with? And that's really what I feel like, in today's podcast, like that's your homework assignment. It's like, how do I be different? And then how do I create the narrative so that they leave with this, wow, that was different. And I liked it. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
and I feel like if you can, everyone has it. You are part of your business. You are, and I think that's super important. And exactly what Spencer shared. He's like, one of the things he said was, it's my core value. It's like who I am as a person. And so my business reflects who I am as a person. So when you kind of dig in deep and be like, what is it that I want to project? You'll find that it'll be creative and that you'll find that. Another great piece of advice is to include your team in it as well. Because I find if you in this scenario go, hey, this is our vision. We kind of want to purple cow it. We want to be the something that stands out. We want to be, we want to be the fly in the frog's environment. We want to be this. And then we want our talk points, kind of the DoubleTree cookie. We want something like this. And you include your team in this conversation, you're going to find that it's going to help your company culture because they're going to be like, wow, I appreciate that we're trying to, provide service to our customers or clients or whatever. But then on the flip side, they're going to appreciate and they're going to share information you don't have as a business owner because they're the ones in the field. They're the ones feeling this out. They're the ones that are checking out the customers or whatever it is that is your business. And they're going to be able to say, hey, this is the stuff I noticed. This is the stuff that I think they would like. And then you just are able to kind of go from that. You've built customer culture. You've helped your employees feel more a part of your business. And you found this DoubleTree cookie technique that you can use to get those talking points.
That's brilliant, dude. That's brilliant. That comes from years of, I'm sure, of your reading, your putting your reading and your practices into action as well. So I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So my next question is, after you've made yourself that purple cow, how do you then after you get them talking about you, how do you then convert those people talking to you about you into revenue or, an actual sale?
Yeah. So the idea is once you get someone excited about you or connected with you or have that, like what your scenario is, this is the best sparkling water and we can now go forward with that. The idea is you build your business model around that tagline. So here's another example for you. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is not very cool. Oh, let me back up here real quick. Historically, it's not very cool. It's literally a mistake that somebody made in like, I don't know, like not even like, it's like not even 100 years old. It's not that cool of a thing. If for some reason it is one of the most popular places to see because someone came up with a dope tagline of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Everyone recognizes it and knows what it is. And so they're able to create a whole business around the fact that someone made a mistake and that no one really wanted to fix it. Like the funding stopped once they're like, oh, this is crap. They pulled their funding out of it. Now it just leans and then they've created a whole business from it. Like so many people come see this tower when there's stuff that's way older and way cooler all throughout Europe that just doesn't get like the Leaning Tower of Pisa gets like 100 times more visitors than like anything else. And it's just insane that that's the case. And it's just because they capitalized on that message, on what this is. And so people are able to connect it really quick to what it is. And so if people can associate your brand with something, your brand does this. Like I think Chick-fil-A has done a fantastic job at this. When you talk about Chick-fil-A, what you're going to get, the customer service that's there, what they provide, they went over and beyond in that area. And so people are like diehard fans of Chick-fil-A
Oh,
Even though, let's just call it how it is. It is an expensive, not filling chicken sandwich. Like I could eat 14 of those before I'm full, and they're expensive. Yeah. However, I go to Chick-fil-A. Why? Because of the experience that's there. And that's how you get true growth. It's about like trimming. If you just try to be like everyone else, you become a cow, right? If you just try to fit in, then you're just going to be a weaker version than the people who got a head start. That's the truth of it. Anyone who got a head start on you, you're just going to fall right behind them. But if you're different, you create that own path. At that scenario, like that's when people then start to brand you, work with you, and are choosing you over someone else for that reason. And so I'm from California. There's Knott's Berry Farm in California. There's Disneyland in California. Knott's Berry Farm, I really can't brand it to you. I can't be like, well, it's like a carnival, but upper than carnival type thing. But I can brand Disneyland to you super easily because that's something they've put their focus into. And because of that, they're a successful world brand. So to answer that question, Spencer, that is how you figure out what it is that makes you different. And that becomes your marketing campaign that you use to out your competitors. You're not trying to be necessarily better than your competitors. You're trying to be different and serve a particular type of person that's going to appreciate that difference. And you can build a business off of that, a successful business off of that.
The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by New Clean Commercial Cleaning. This is my company, guys. I'm telling you, I'm not just because I'm the owner, the creator of it, but we are a great company for servicing your janitorial needs, your carpet cleaning needs, your stripping wax needs, all your floor maintenance needs. We are there for you. And everything is backed up by the "we're not perfect" guarantee. And if it's pretty much if you call and we don't get a hold, you don't get a hold of us, we will call you back within an hour and fix the problem within 24 hours, or the cleaning's on us. So that is our promise to you. And if you call or go into the Idaho Business Podcast website, click on the New Clean logo, and book a janitorial solution huddle with us, and mention that you heard about us on the podcast, you'll get two free restroom floor cleanings for your office for free. Tile and grout in your restrooms will be sparkling clean, and that's the offer. Tell you, take us up on it. You won't regret it. There's no strings attached. So go see them today.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.